Hello everybody and welcome to Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance HD. This is the most recent game, came out in 2013. This HD version came out sometime last year, 2016 I believe, or maybe even early this year, 2017. This is probably the one game in all of this series that shouldn't exist. In that the story is kind of stretched out and weird because I don't think it was part of their original plan. But it's still a pretty good game despite that. Now I have to warn you up front that I have not played this version of the game before. I played it on 3DS back in 2013 or so. So I don't really know how it's different. I'm not as good at this one as I am at Kingdom Hearts 2. But hopefully it'll go alright. I cleaned out that game on 3DS, and it'll probably be fine here too.
Hey! Is this how you wanted it? Xehanort! You want to fill me in?
I am.
Hey! Do you remember now, or... Wait. Did you never lose your memory?
That's not my name. I'm not Xehanort.
What?
My name is Ansem.
But how far could a raft take us?
Who knows? If we have to, we'll think of something else.
Riku, a storm's coming.
I know. The waves are getting steep. Furl the sail.
Right. Riku!
I'm fine. What's that?
Oh, he was right. Those wretched guppies are here. Well, it's about time we settled the score.
Ursula! But how... Is this the test?
Come on! You can work it out later!
All right!
Sorry, dearies, but I won't fall for that trick.
Okay, so this game takes place after Kingdom Hearts 2. And between them there was a game called Coded, and then an HD remaster of that game called Recoded, which took place just after that. We saw Sora get that bottle with a message in it from Mickey, and then there's a cutscene at the end of Birth by Sleep saying that they're gonna go do the thing, whatever the thing is. So what that message was, as we find out in Coded, is that Yensid has decided to put Riku and Sora through the Mark of Mastery exam, like Terra, Aqua, and Ventus went through in Birth by Sleep. And that's what they go off to do. During the events of Coded, it's really kind of strange. They find Naminé's diary or something like that, and then they have to decode it, hence the name. In the process of doing that, they find out that Terra, Aqua, and Ventus are all still out there somewhere. And so Riku and Sora need to go find them, and part of preparing for that process, they're taking the Mark of Mastery exam. That's the test that Sora just mentioned. I'm going to go over the story of Birth by Sleep here in a bit. For those of you who may have skipped that, I highly recommend that you watch that before you watch this. I'm going to give you a little summary in a little while, but it's not going to be the same as watching it. It's pretty much the most important part of all of these stories is Birth by Sleep. So go check that out on Everglow's channel. He's got the HD Chronicles version that I was commentating over, but I decided to stop for now because I don't feel like I'm adding a whole lot. You can just watch those without me. I may go back to them later, but for now I'm going to do this instead. So go watch Birth by Sleep, and then when you're done with that, come back here and watch this. This is a tutorial. You can see the command bars back from Birth by Sleep. And I don't know how I feel about that yet. It is a little bit different. I don't remember exactly how, but the game's going to tell us. This was originally designed to be a 3DS game, so kind of like Birth by Sleep, it's not as fast of a game as Kingdom Hearts 2. We have our traditional block here. Dodging. That's not useful. No, I'm gone.
Freeze! Fire! Ha!
Tutorial complete! Hey!
You dare toy with me, you insignificant fool! Yeah! Yeah! Ha! Hey! Yeah! Yeah! Yes! Freeze! Time for my head! Yeah! Ha! Yeah! Hey! Yeah! Yeah! Hey! Yeah! Ha!
I think I need to reverse the direction in which this command list moves. The game allows me to do that.
Yeah, 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 hey, yeah, hey, yeah, 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 ha.
Here, no, it just gives me the battle command.
Fire, freeze, to the depths with you. Time for my revenge. Ha. Fire, freeze, fire. Yeah! Yeah! Ha! 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 Hey! Ha! Yeah! Time for my revenge! Yeah! Yeah! Ha! Ha! Hey! Yeah! Time for my revenge!
Gotcha. And she's gone. Oh, that's handy.
This world has been connected.
As a Keyblade master, Xehanort had a gift like few others. But such great minds are often plagued by a single great question. What is the essence of the human heart that weakens us or empowers us? The answer, he believed, would be found in the Keyblade War. What if the challenges of our past were in fact a map to the light and darkness that battles within us all? Xehanort had to know, so he renounced his duties as master and chose the Seeker's life. Since then, in many a guise, he has clashed with protectors of the light, Keyblade wielders like yourselves. And mark my words, he will trouble us yet again. We must be ready. Which is why you, Sora and Riku, are to be tested for the mark of a true Keyblade master. No doubt you fancy yourselves masters already, but it takes years of training. Only a true master can teach you the proper way. Both of you are self-taught Keyblade wielders, an impressive feat. However, the time has come for you to let go of preconceived notions. Forget what you know about the Keyblade.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
Begin your training again with a clean slate.
Huh? But that's a formality, right? I already proved myself. Me and the King and Riku, we can take on anything. Right, Riku?
I don't know. I think that in my heart, darkness still has a hold. Walking that path changed me. I'm not sure if I'm ready to wield a Keyblade. Maybe I do need to be tested.
Riku. Then count me in. Put me through the test. Just watch. Me and Riku will pass with flying colors.
Very well then. Sora and Riku, let your examination begin.
One nice thing about this game is that it has a very thorough directory of everything that's happened before. Just in case this was your first game, I suppose. Time for a crappy replacement for this gummy ships. Okay, we're diving. Part of the dream drop distance thing. We are dropping. Pretty much the gummy ship, though. Fine with that one poo mini game, I guess. Faster. Ooh.
Here we go. Faster.
Oops. Can be a little tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got an A ranking. Yay for me. Suddenly Kid Sora in the Valor form outfit?
This is... Traverse Town. Hey, what's with my clothes? Must be more of Master Yen Sid's magic.
Good old Traverse Town. Haven't seen you since Kingdom Hearts 1.
But what happened to Riku? Riku! Hello? Riku!
Shut it.
Huh?
Talk about noise.
Ah!
Sora, right?
Yeah, but, how do you know that?
Looks like you're not a player.
A player?
Come on, keep up. In the game. Players get marked with the time limit. And this game, I can't afford to lose. I need my game partner.
Okay. I don't know about any game, but can I help?
What? Timeout. Do you trust every total stranger you meet?
No.
Look, sorry.
Yeah.
You're no good. You're not a player. And my pack's with someone else.
Okay, so we can't be partners. Why don't I just help you out as your friend?
Now we're friends? It's not that easy.
Not saying it is, but you could make it easier.
Yeah, sounds great. Whatever.
Cool. Lead the way. Whoa.
This is something I never quite got the hang of when I played the game originally. Just gonna try to use it more this time because it's a pretty core part of the game. I do wonder if this is going to be in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah. Ha. Ha. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, you can really get around with this.
Ha. Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, you have to aim it a bit.
Yeah. Ha. Yeah.
Whew. Be kind of hard to control. Jump on the rail. Whew.
Yeah.
Go with the flow. This is one of my favorite tracks in the whole series. This kind of smooth jazz mix of the Traverse Town theme. Good old mail slot. Let's see what we got here. And deck. Flipped. Yes, please. Good. Dream Drop Distance is one of the few games that actually use the Circle Pad Pro, as I recall. This just allows you to use L2 and R2 as well. I don't think I need to change that. here we have very brief summaries of Dream Drop Distance, or of Birth by Sleep, sorry. Alright, so this is a good time to do my little Birth by Sleep summary. So, Birth by Sleep is the story of Terra, Aqua, and Ventus, 3 Keyblade wielders. They are another one of the trios, like Sora, Riku, and Kairi, which I believe I mentioned during Kingdom Hearts 2. Master Xehanort, who we learned some about in Kingdom Hearts 2, but not the full extent of it. He was one of the Keyblade Masters, along with Yensid and a man named Ericus, who, while Yensid is Disney backwards, Ericus is almost square backwards, so that matches up the two companies involved in this. Master Xehanort was obsessed with this historical event called the Keyblade War, as well as a place called the Keyblade Graveyard, which we see throughout Birth by Sleep. And he gets this boy named Ventus, and kind of cuts him in half. He extracts all of the darkness from his heart, which leaves, I almost called him Roxas, which leaves Ventus as a broken child who has pure light, but only has half of his heart. So what he was trying to do was get pure light, Ventus, and pure darkness, which he turns into a creature called Vanitas. He wants to get them to fight each other and re-merge back together in order to create the mythical Keyblade. There is a particular Keyblade that he's trying to make, and it's actually spelled differently than K-E-Y. It's spelled C-H-I because it is the Greek letter Ki or Kai, which looks like an X, which you may have noticed is a heavily reoccurring letter throughout Kingdom Hearts. The idea is that you get a pure light and a pure darkness and get them to merge, assuming they can both use Keyblades, and they will merge together to create the Keyblade, which can also be called the X-Blade or the Kai Blade. I'll probably try to call it the Kai Blade just to keep it separate. But his attempt fails. Ventus doesn't fight the way Xehanort wants him to, and instead he gets himself KO'd by Heartless. So Xehanort thinks his plan has failed, so he takes Ventus to the Destiny Islands and plans to leave him there. However, at the time that Ventus is laying there unconscious with half a heart, Sora is actually being either born or conceived. I'm not clear on which that is, but his heart is traveling by on the way to his body. And Ventus's heart is crying out for help, and Sora's heart happens to go by and decides to merge somewhat with Ventus's heart, which restores Ventus back to functionality and allows him to use a Keyblade. So Xehanort, intrigued by this, takes the newly re-conscious Ventus to a place called the Land of Departure, which is where Master Ericus is training his other two students, Terra and Aqua. The three of them train together for some years, and then it becomes time for the Mark of Mastery exam for Terra and Aqua. And at this time, Master Xehanort reappears. Ericus doesn't know anything about where... Well, he does know somewhat what Ventus is, but he doesn't really know Xehanort's involvement in it. So Xehanort is there, and during the test he manipulates Terra's innate darkness so that Ericus can see it, and this forces Terra to fail the exam, because according to Ericus, you're not allowed to use darkness as a Keyblade Master. Aqua succeeds at the test, and then Xehanort messes with Terra and Ventus, and Terra ends up running off to chase Master Xehanort and try to figure out how to pass his test and how to conquer his darkness, because Xehanort promises him that he can teach him. So Terra runs off. Vanitas, the one that was split off of Ventus, tells Ventus that he'll never see Terra again if he doesn't follow him immediately. So Ventus runs off after Terra, and then Ericus sends Aqua after both of them to try to get them to come back. And then all three of them run around Disney worlds, meeting people and things. We see Mickey before he was really the super badass that he is in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. They meet briefly, Donald and Goofy. You see Pete being a troublemaker in Disney Town, where he's just trying to get attention, but he causes so much trouble that he gets banished to the Land of Darkness, like a prison sort of place for a long time. Xehanort meets Maleficent and tells her about the other worlds, tells her about Keyblades and hearts and the Heartless. So Maleficent starts to get involved at this point, doing what Xehanort tells her in order to increase her own profile and gain more power and so forth. They all meet up in Radiant Garden, where Ventus meets Lee, who you might know as Axel, as well as Issa, who you would also know as Syx, when they were both teenagers. It's at this point that Lee finds Ventus's discarded wooden Keyblade that Terra gave him, and he picks it up and keeps it. They all run around for a while. We meet Braig, who is at this point Xehanort's lackey. He's helping him in order to get power for himself, I suppose. Braig is Zigbar, the guy with the 2 sniper pistols. And so they run around for a while, with Xehanort manipulating Terra to bring his darkness out. Ventus and Vanitas clash a few times while Aqua's trying to chase them all down and be a goody two-shoes. And eventually, Xehanort sends Ventus back to the Land of Departure to talk to Eric and find out what he really is and why Ericus has treated him this way and like kept him limited and not allowed him to become as strong as he can be. And then he tells Terra that Ventus had gone off in a huff and was going to confront Ericus. So when Ventus meets Ericus, Ericus realizes what Xehanort is trying to do with Ventus and decides the only thing that he can do is destroy Ventus. Terra gets there just in time to see Ericus preparing to attack, and then Terra fights Ericus. Terra defeats Ericus, and then Xehanort from around the corner unlocks Xehanort's heart, which causes him to vanish. But Terra manages to get there in time and surreptitiously, unbeknownst to himself, absorbs Ericus' heart into his own. And then from there, Terra runs off after Xehanort, realizing what Xehanort has done and put them all in this position. Ventus and Aqua are close behind, and they all meet up at the Keyblade Graveyard, where they have a big fight with Xehanort fighting Terra and Vanitas fighting Ventus and Aqua, and then they fight some more, and then Terra is fighting Xehanort and Vanitas, and Braig shows up to distract Aqua, and there's all of these shenanigans, and eventually Terra seemingly defeats Xehanort, but Xehanort on his last legs unlocks his own heart and then tries to possess Terra. And he partially succeeds, and so he becomes what people will call Terra Xehanort, where it's Terra's body, but he has gray hair and yellow eyes and darker skin. And then the lingering will of Terra in his Keyblade armor fights Terra Xehanort. It's all very complicated, I know. It's ridiculous. Just watch the videos, it'll make a little more sense there in the actual events of the game. But Aqua fights Vanitas, Vanitas fights Ventus. Vanitas manages to possess Ventus and become the Keyblade, or the Kaiblade rather, somewhat. He creates it halfway. They're fighting inside Ventus's mind while Aqua's fighting Ventus's body, which is possessed by Vanitas. Oh god, I can't even keep it all straight while I'm telling it to you. But eventually, Ventus wins over Vanitas. The Kaiblade is destroyed, but Ventus is unconscious, and his heart flees. But Sora manages to catch it, because they were already connected. So at this point, Ventus's body is empty. Ventus's heart is inside of Sora, and this is why when Sora in Kingdom Hearts 1 turns into a Heartless, Roxas pops out and looks like Ventus, because it is actually And this is why Ventus can already use a Keyblade, and why he has a heart from the very beginning, because it is actually Ventus's heart. It isn't really Sora's heart. Sora's heart is there, but is turned into Xion. Good luck if you can keep track of all this without having seen Birth by Sleep. So, the armor defeats... Terra's armor defeats Xehanort, who is in Terra's body. When the Keyblade is destroyed, it creates this huge shockwave, which throws everybody out of the Keyblade graveyard. It throws Terra Xehanort back to Radiant Garden, where Aqua chases him, and then they have another fight, Terra Xehanort versus Aqua. Aqua seems to win, but Terra tries to take control of his body back, and he uses the Keyblade to unlock his heart again, trying to get Xehanort out of his body, but it doesn't really work, and they fall into darkness. Aqua chases them down there, and uses her Keyblade and Keyblade armor to send Terra back to the surface, but she is stuck in the Land of Darkness. When Terra Xehanort gets back to the surface, he has some vague memories of who he is, but he's found by Ansem and Brig and Dylan and all the other original members of the organization, but while they were still human. Ansem takes him in. Meanwhile, before this battle, Aqua had taken Ventus's body back to the Land of Departure, where they were all trained, put him there, and then used a mechanism to lock it, which turns the Land of Departure into Castle Oblivion, which is the place that the organization was searching through, and they were trying to find the room where Ventus was, even though it was never really stated outright. Xehanort and Ansem collect Aqua's armor and Keyblade, and that's why we see that random armor and Keyblade that Xemnas is talking to during Kingdom Hearts 2, because the Terra that is inside Xemnas still is trying to connect with Aqua and Ventus, and that's why they go to Castle Oblivion to try and find Ventus. Oh boy. So at the end of this, Terra and Xehanort are split up into Xemnas and Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, which was that little cutscene that we saw at the beginning of this game. That was Xehanort finally losing his mind, or his patience, or whatever, and turning them all into nobodies, and unlocking himself. And that's how the Organization 13 began. So that's where Terra is. He's split up between Ansem and Xemnas, who were both defeated in Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2, as well as Aqua being stuck in the Land of Darkness, Ventus still being inside Castle Oblivion somewhere, and nobody really knows about that, but they find out about that during Coded, so they know more or less where Ventus is. They just need to find a way to get to him. And to get to him, they need to find Aqua, and to find Aqua, they need to go into the Land of Darkness. And to do that, they want to make sure that Sora and Riku are ready for it, so they have them take the Mark of Mastery exam, and so here we are. That's really the best I could do. I don't know if any of that made any sense.
Yeah.
It took me a while to make sense of the lore of this series. I had to play through all of them, and then watch some videos, and then read some analyses before I really had a grip on it. But once you do get a grip on it, it's a really cool story.
Freeze!
Oops, it's X to open this game. I got an item of some kind. So, with all that out of the way, now we can try to play this game. We do have abilities, which I do think they had these in Birth by Sleep. I do think they did. We have our good old Kingdom Key. We have... That's it for now. It still says new, even though it's not new. That's okay. Mementos. This is just a list of stuff that we've already seen, so we don't really need to do that. So what is unclear at this point is why Sora and Riku are kids, or why they're younger, at least. And we don't know why they did that drop thing. We don't know why they were in the ocean at the beginning. Oof, lots of stuff to find out about. So I think that story summary was pretty long, so this will be a long enough episode as it is. I will save the game here. And see you guys next time.